the development of football, Unit 12, Dominic Hayes. The development of football. The very first game was called Cuju. This was created in China. The competitive game involves you kicking a ball through a large hoop which hangs from stilts in the ground. The use of hands are not allowed, so only kicking it is. The game was made for fitness training for like the Chinese army. However, it will be played by wealthy people, like to be socially active. 1846, the Industrial Revolution, so therefore like working in factories, so the players had no time to play any football anymore until the Factory Act came in, and this limited how much time that they could work in the factories, so therefore they could play more sport. And 1848, the first rules were introduced. 1870, the first goalkeeper was introduced, and also the players started to pass the ball instead of dribbling, so therefore they would get more players involved in the game. 1871, Charles William Alloc created the first FA Cup, which is now the most famous English cup. 1875, the first crossbar was introduced. 1877, the games began 90 minutes long. 1878, they started to use whistles instead of white handkerchiefs, so now when you get like a more grasp of rules. 1885, the FA legalises professionalism, so therefore people who were good at football became professional and started getting paid for it for once. 1888, the first league was introduced. 1891, penalty kick and lines were introduced. 1904, the FIFA was funded. 1907, the PFA was introduced. 1944, physical education was established, so therefore they started to teach people in schools about sport and how to play it. 1954, UEFA was funded. 1965, the English Sports Council was developed. 1966, very famous day because England won the World Cup, and it's the only one we're ever going to win. 1992, the first season of the Premier League started, and in 1995, the Bossman ruling came into play. This is the rule where if you're over 24, you cannot leave the club on a free transfer. Agricultural Society. The Agricultural Society was responsible for the creation of mob football. Mob football consists of people from neighbouring villages, which could reach over 1,000 people on each team. They would battle against each other in two teams with the aim to get the ball into the goal, which could be like at the either end of the village, which could be 3 miles away. Mob football is still played annually in the village of Ashbourne, Derby, where the goal is at the top of the village and the other one is at the bottom, and the goal is exact 3 miles away from the other. Another sport that was inspired by Agricultural Society is cheese rolling. This is held each year on Cooper's Hill in Gloucestershire. Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution was a turning point in British history. In the period of 1970 to 1860, as more machinery was being built to improve transport, particularly trains, this caused a lot of men to lose their jobs. So therefore they turned to football to give themselves some entertainment. The improvement of trains and other motorsport would get them to different football grounds in different places to play different teams. When professionalism was first introduced, they gave the men who had lost their jobs a chance to earn money by playing football if there was any good. As it spread throughout the country, more men were playing football, which meant that more clubs were being founded and introduced into the Football League. As football was becoming ever so popular, it was attracting spectators to watch the game live. They were able to do this because of transport, such as trains. In 1846, the Factory Act was introduced. This means the work time was limited. World War I, World War II. Due to the outbreak of World War I, the leagues had to be stopped and suspended, and competitive football had to be stopped until the war finished. However, not all women's football started at that point, as other men had to go and fight, so there was more women than men, so at this time they started playing football to keep entertainment up. The war had effect on other club players, as they was all called up into the army. A famous day during World War I was on during Christmas of 1914, where the British and German troops famously called a ceasefire and played a game of football to show a sign of peace and respect on Christmas Day. 20th century. The Football League was founded by 12 clubs in 1988, and as the years went by, increased to 40 clubs by 1905 and 1906. In 1923, Wembley Stadium was opened and it became the national stadium of England, hosting the first cup final between Bolton Wanderers and West Ham United. In 1930, the first FIFA World Cup was held in Uruguay. However, England could not compete in the first three World Cups due to the FA's resignation from the FIFA. In 1966, England won the World Cup. Organisation linked with football. Sport England is the brand name for English Sports Council and is a non-development public body under the Department of the Culture, Media and Sport. Its role is to build the foundations for the community sport system by working with national government bodies of the sport and other fund partners to grow a number of people during the sport, sustain participation levels and help more talented sportsmen get to a high level of sports. UK sport. The main three things to do with UK sport is talent ID. This is where there are several different activities in different areas of the UK, so that they can try and find the more talented players in certain sports so that they can reach high levels. Also investing in sport. UK sport invest in a lot of different sports around the country so that they can keep up and running in areas where they haven't got the money. This also keeps the people training to see if they can get any better. And coaching. UK Sport help deliver coaching sessions around the country. As Sport England would tell UK Sport that a certain area, such as Nottingham or Derby, would need different coaches for football. So therefore, UK Sport would send coaches over to that specific area so they can get top quality coaches. CCPR, which stands for Central Council of Physical Recreation. These are an alliance of sport and recreation and organisations, the government and represented bodies in the sector. The Sport and Recreation Alliance is the umbrella organisation for the government and representing bodies of sport and recreation in the UK and represents 320 members such as organisations like the FA and the Rugby Football Union. Department of Culture, Media and Sport. The DCMS originates from the Department of National Heritage, which itself was created on 11th of April 1992. It is a department of the United Kingdom and the United Government with responsibility for culture and sport England, and some aspects of media coverage such as broadcasting, internet and famous TV programmes such as Match of the Day. Sport Scotland. The Scottish Sports Council was established in 1972. The body works in partnership with public, private and voluntary organisations. The Sports Council of Wales is a national organisation responsible for developing and promoting sports and physical activity in Wales, working alongside partners such as governing bodies of sport and local authorities such as UK Sport and the Sports Council Northern Ireland. This was established under the Recreation and Youth Service in Northern Ireland in 1973. National governing bodies. Across England there are many different national governing bodies in sport who are responsible for managing their specific sports such as football and rugby. We recognise dozens of governing bodies and support over hundreds of sports in a variety of ways, such as coaching different sessions each week. Football Foundation, Department of Culture and Sport. So this is basically, as I said earlier, I'm putting it on TV such as Match of the Day, Sky Sports, BT Sport, ITV, and also putting it in newspapers, so whoever hasn't got a TV can read the newspaper. FA Premier League, the top tier of English football, formed in 1992. 20 clubs were split up in the Football League to form the Premier League. The Premier League is currently sponsored by Barclays Bank. The first team to win the top tier in 1992 was Blackburn. FIFA, the international governing body of football, and founded on the 24th of May 1904. UEFA, this is the European Union of European Football Association, the governing body of football in Europe, and funded on 15th of June 1954. Done.